this is Brooklyn here. I wanted to touch base with you on my journal and what's happening with my journal and why you haven't seen any journal with me in the past year. This is the cover I'm currently using for my journal. So I journal in a Midori size traveler's notebook, just the standard regular. I find it's a size that really works for me. And yeah, this cover here is a Lyra & Co. fabric cover. It's not one of my favorites of theirs. I don't like the interfacing that she uses. I find it very crinkly. I have another one of hers that's got better interfacing. I also have a Foxy Fix, but I need to restring that, and I haven't ordered more elastic for it yet. The reason you haven't seen Journal with Me is I haven't been doing it. Around November of last year, of 2015, let me see, I can tell you the exact date because it stops. Around November 7th of last year, some stuff just happened in my life, and I got really busy, and I got really tired. I was going through some health stuff on top of some mental health stuff, and I stopped. And that's not a big deal. Like, that shouldn't be a big deal. We let it be a big deal. Us journalers build that up into ourselves, that it's a huge deal. But the thing is that because I let it build up into such this big deal, I couldn't easily come back to my journal. It took me a really long time to kind of accept that I had stopped and then build back up the practice. And I haven't built that practice back up. In fact, I'm still not journaling in this journal. So I jumped from November to July. I do about 3 days in July. And then I have 2 days in September. And I've started some things, but I haven't finished them. And I really need to, because journaling does make me happy. But the thing I wanted to kind of talk about is that it's okay if this happens. Like, I think we can be really hard on ourselves as journalers, and build it up into this big deal. If you've missed more than a week, sometimes you just turn it into such a big deal that it makes it really hard to come back to. And I think it's important for us as journalers to kind of let go of that and remember that our journals are always there for us. They are always available for us. They have no judgments. They don't think negative of us. They are there to listen, and they will always be there to listen. And it's okay to pull back and change the way you're journaling if it becomes overwhelming. It's okay to think about different things. It's okay to even pop into a different journal for a while if you want to keep one pretty. It's your journal and it's your life. There are literally no rules, so do what feels important. Journaling is something that I do really love, but it's not something I always keep up with. And I think that when we look back at our journals, we think we're going to be all upset that there's these missing months. But the thing is that tells a story of itself. For me, it often tells a story of depression. When I get really, really, really super depressed, it gets hard to go back to my journal. It gets hard to write the same thing every day. And there were months when it would have been, I'm depressed, I haven't changed my clothes, I haven't showered, I haven't done work, I haven't done anything. And so if that's where you get, or if whatever your reason is, if you're busy, you're too busy to sit down and do it, then that's okay. I just want to let people know that that's okay. I think there's a lot of pressure out there that you have to journal every day, and if you're not journaling every day, there's no point journaling, etc., etc. Do what's right for you. Do what is important for you, and let the rest slide. And if you're too busy and you're doing things like this, drop it. Drop whatever. Drop the decorating. Drop the if it's the painting, that waiting for paint to dry takes too much, or the gluing stuff down, or the stickers, or whatever. If whatever is becoming too much for you, just let it go. You know? Just let it go. You don't have to do all of that. And I know that that's what you might have been doing through all your journal. It's okay. And you can see in this last page, I was going to not paint it because I didn't want to wait for paint to dry. And even then, I just didn't finish. I'll probably leave this page blank. I might write some words on it. I don't even remember the date for this page. But, you know, same with this page. I started writing on it and didn't finish it. And I tried playing with some other stuff. This one took about a very long time to do because it's got gesso on it, and it's got glitter, and it's got all kinds of things. I wanted to gesso over the rub-on so it didn't come off, and yeah. Life happens though. And it's okay to step back. It's okay to not journal for a while. It's okay to skip to a different journal for a couple months and just do plain writing, which I did a little bit. I have a journal that I keep that's specifically for when I'm feeling really depressed. It's really dark. It's not a journal I reread. It's a venting place, and I can't show that to you because I filled it up, and when I fill it up, I burn them. I get rid of it because it's not something. While I don't have any descendants, I don't have any children, I do have family, and I have friends, and if I were to die tomorrow or even in 20 years, it's not a journal I want to leave behind. And I guess that's the other thing, is that you don't have to journal forever. It doesn't have to be a journal that is kept forever. And I know lots of people who burn their journals afterwards or throw their journals away or whatnot because it's an intimate moment. I do a bit of both. This is my memory keeping journal, but like I said, when I'm really, really down, I switch to and it's just a plain spiral notebook. At the end, I burn it all, and then I throw the spiral away, which is usually left in the ashes and stuff. And it's what I do. Because journaling is important to me, and I think it's important to sometimes let things go. And so that's the thing also, is that your journaling doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be left. It doesn't have to be left for descendants. It doesn't have to be left to record your time. It can be cathartic. The other thing you can do is, if you want to use the same journal and you want to get your cathartic feelings out, is write all over the page and get gesso. You know, I'm just gonna grab mine real quick. You know, gesso's fairly cheap. This is a 1 liter thing. It cost me about $15. You can get smaller amounts, and this is a white paint. It's usually pretty thick. It has a tooth to it, which makes it easier to write over top of, which is why I prefer it over using just white paint in this case. Excuse me. But, you know, if you are not feeling like writing, or if you want to write something and you don't want people to read it, this is another option, is you can gesso over it, and then write back over top of it. Sometimes it's really good to get the cathartic out, get the negative out, write it all over. You can cross write, you can scribble, you can paint over it. There are lots of options. If you look, if you Google or YouTube search secret journaling, they can show you all kinds of different options for secret journaling too. But my point is that it's okay to have gaps in your journal, and I'm in a place where I want to get back to journaling, and so I need to hear that even more than I need to tell you guys that it's okay to have gaps in your journaling. It's okay to have let go and to move on, and that the gaps tell their own story. Their gaps tell the story of being too busy, of being too tired, of having health issues, of having depression, of having anxiety, of having anything that you might encounter. The blank pages tell that story as well. Okay, so don't, or the space is missing, tell that story. So don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of having a journal that has big gaps in it. Don't worry about it. Just let go. And I know that's easier said than done. I, of all people, know how much easier that is said than done. But try not to stress too much, and know that this journal will be important whether there's missing gaps or anything else. The other thing that you can always do is, let's see, this is I have 2005 and November of 2005, and then I jumped to July. I could put a tip in that, say either at the end of November or here on this page. There's nothing here. I could put a tip in here, or put a tip in on this page that just says, got really depressed, had a really rough time, was busy doing XYZ, didn't journal, didn't feel like it, worked myself up. You can always add in those tip-ins to say why those spaces are blank. That's why I love a tip-in. You can do all kinds of things like that. So don't stress. Your journal's not mad at you, and it's always waiting there for you. You all have a nice day, and I will talk to you later. If you liked this video and you want to see more, feel free to subscribe, comment, or like this video. I love seeing those little thumbs up. It makes my heart go flutter. So have a nice day, and bye!